Whoa, hey. Watch your step. Imagine you have a Hockey Hall of Fame career, right? You're one of the best goal scorers of all time, right? But you have a hard time winning the Stanley Cup, which is fine because the Stanley Cup is a trophy that a lot of people have a hard time winning. There's an easy leaf joke in there right there. But then despite all that, despite all the trials and tribulations, the close calls, the heartbreaks en route to winning a Stanley Cup, you score the Stanley Cup winning goal for your team in overtime. Everyone's driveway fantasy growing up. And it becomes the most controversial Stanley Cup winner in NHL history. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Steve Dangle, and this is another episode of Steve's Dang It, and today we look at one of the most controversial goals in NHL history that Buffalo Sabres fans actually refer to as no goal. Kids, you ever hear about a thing called the dead puck era? I talk about it all the time, but what does it actually mean? Basically, the dead puck era was an era of the NHL in the late 90s and early 2000s where nobody scored. In fact, if you go to most teams' goal totals from the 1998-99 season and compare it to this season from all the teams in the NHL, they're actually pretty similar. The key difference being that this season was stopped a month early because of a global pandemic. Have you heard? Every time I bring that up, wear a mask. In 1999, scoring was way down, and it was the golden era of goalies in some cases. I mean, you had the likes of Patrick Roy and Martin Brodeur, and in a Stanley Cup final, you might find one Ed Belfour and Dominik Hasek. Let me give you some fun facts. You like fun facts? Here's a list of every Vezina Trophy winner as the NHL's best goalie from 1994 until 2001. Dominik Hasek, Jim Carrey, yes, that was his real name. His nicknames were the Mask and the Net Detective. Dominik Hasek, Olaf Kolzig, Dominik Hasek. I've had this debate with people recently who is the best goalie of all time, and to me it comes down to two people, Patrick Roy and Dominik Hasek. Here's my very unfair stance on the subject. Patrick Roy had the better career. Dominik Hasek was the best goalie. He just was. He won 6 Vezina trophies in an 8-year span. No goalie in NHL history has ever had that level of dominance. That stretch of his career is the best any goalie has ever been. The only thing that comes close is like Jacques Plante in the late 50s when he won 5 straight. Hasek was unbeatable. Even the one that Jim Carrey won, he had a .906 save percentage but a winning record. Hasek had a .920 but a losing record. The Sabres weren't that good around him. You put Dominik Hasek on Patrick Roy's Colorado Avalanche, I guarantee he wins at least the same amount of cups, which is both true and a thing that I just like to say to annoy Producer Drew. Producer Drew, who, by the way, and you can tweet him and ask him, thinks Marty Turco had a better career than Dominik Hasek. But as John Mulaney says, we don't have time to unpack all that. Where was I? Oh yeah, goal scoring in the late 90s was down, in part due to goalies like Dominik Hasek, and in part due to the dumb rules. You thought offside reviews were annoying? You thought goaltender interference calls were annoying, especially a year or two ago. They were annoying. They had nothing on the toe in the crease rule. If you had a toe in the crease, the goal didn't count. So not only are no goals getting scored, the goals that are getting scored aren't getting allowed. Think of some of your favorite gritty players, your favorite net front presence players in NHL history that you've ever watched, and how impossible their careers would have been if they weren't even allowed to have a sliver of a toe in the crease. And the crease was this ugly big blue bubble, and so they start chopping parts off of it to try to appease people. For me, it ruined at least one NHL season. In fact, it ruined an entire NHL video game. It ruined NHL 99. This is true. Because you know how much video games glitch now? Imagine how much they glitched 21 years ago. You'd come flying in on a 2-on-1, score on a wrist shot from a face-off dot, and nope, we gotta have a review. They show the review, there's no one even in the screenshot, and they wave it off! Because the toe in the crease rule was so prevalent that they had to build it into the game, and sometimes it didn't work. So imagine if that rule, that awful rule, that toe in the crease rule, decided who won the Stanley Cup in 1999. Well, it did. 1999 Stanley Cup Final. The Dallas Stars taking on the Buffalo Sabres. Two extremely stingy teams with extremely stingy goalies. Ed Belfour, Eddie the Eagle, and Dominik the Dominator Hasek. Game 1 was a 3-2 victory for the Buffalo Sabres in overtime. The Dallas Stars won the second game 4-2. Whoa, 4 goals. What are you, the Gretzky-era Oilers? Dallas wins Game 3 2-1. Buffalo wins Game 4 2-1. Dallas wins Game 5 2-0. If you allow 2 goals in 1999, it's a death sentence. Then we have Game Game 6. Jiri Lettinen's 10th of the playoffs in the first period makes it 1-0 for Dallas. Near the end of the second period, Stu Barnes, which is a name that's impossible to say in your head without hearing Rick Jenneret, makes it 1-1. He scores for Buffalo. And there's no goals in the third period, so we head to overtime. And in overtime, there's no goals, so we head to second overtime. But in second overtime, there are also no goals, so we head to third overtime. Hockey in 1999, catch the fever! But in the third overtime, almost 2 full hockey games worth of hockey. On the 104th shot of the game, this happens.
And on McDaniel. McDaniel can't move on it. Now he does. The shot, passing down. Rebound, score! Mike McDaniel with with Brett Hull. Brett Hull in close.
When he puts it in. It's in the crease now. He doesn't score on this play. He gets out of the crease. The puck gets in the crease. And there's no doubt about it. His left skate is in.
He wins it in triple overtime. Ah, the dream. Ah. If you look on the bird's eye view, which in 1999 was the most important view in all of hockey until 2004 in Game 6 for the Flames. If you take a little gander, Brett Hull's toesy is in the crease, causing immense and complete confusion because all season long, everyone was like, well, if you have your toe in the crease, it's no goal. Well, not so fast, because apparently there was a little amendment to the rule that actually made it make more sense. It's just no one really seemed to know that, which made no sense. You see, on Brett Hull's initial whack at the puck, yeah, his toe was in the crease, and if that had gone in, I don't know if that would have counted. But the puck leaves the crease, as does Brett Hull's skate. No one else ever possesses the puck. It's Brett Hull's the whole time, and once his skate re-enters the crease, he's still the puck carrier, and then he scores. Supposedly, that is okay. And thank goodness it was okay, because can you imagine if it wasn't? They call the goal back, the Sabres win Game 6 in overtime and go on to win Game 7, winning their first ever Stanley Cup and robbing the Dallas Stars of theirs? That might have just been the biggest dang it in NHL history, if it happened. And credit to the Dallas Stars for doing exactly what the Chicago Blackhawks did in 2010. Now, there was no controversy with the Blackhawks goal, it's just the goal was scored and no one saw it. But the Blackhawks immediately start throwing their helmets and gloves and sticks everywhere. They just make sure it's complete chaos. Nope, sorry, the game's over. We've already thrown everything everywhere. We couldn't possibly start playing again. It's basically what the Stars did. Nope, that went in and look at all the ice and everything. Nope, we can't do it. But what makes this so bad is a Stanley Cup winning goal from a team perspective with the Dallas Stars, from even the Buffalo Sabres perspective, from a league's perspective, from a fan's perspective. It's supposed to be a moment of immense elation, of finality. It's over. The best team won. The other team tried really hard. Wasn't that an exciting season? Hand out the trophy and go home. That's what everybody should be feeling in that moment. Not, I don't know the rules of the game I just watched for like 5 hours. So it's a dang it for the league from that perspective. It's a dang it for the Dallas Stars because, dude, we just won the Stanley Cup. Our first ever Stanley Cup, and you ruin it with this controversy, with this awkward moment. And for the Buffalo Sabres and their fans who were like, we have a chance. Wait a sec. That shouldn't count. You're then just left in this limbo after cheering for your team for 82 games, 5 rounds, 6 games of the Stanley Cup final. You're up until 4 in the morning or whatever it is, watching triple overtime, and you don't even know what just happened to end your team's season. Regardless of whether or not that rule was good or not, the confusion around it was an enormous dang it. As dumb and as tedious and as time-consuming as the goaltender interference calls have been over the past few years, they were far more sensible than is your toesy in the crease. Your toe in the crease, to me, should not matter. Did you run over the goalie? Did you have your stick through his skates? Were you holding his pad? Any Oilers fans watching? Those things should matter, not this random blue patch of ice that you treat as the floor is lava. But don't worry, sportsmanship prevailed and the Buffalo Sabres took it like champs.
I'm gonna leave you with 2 words. Be the final 2 words for this summer. No goal.
So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this dang it's video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. No goal. Unless they're a Stars fan, then I mean they'll laugh at you if you say that because it was a goal. They won the cup.